Is there actually a best when it comes to everyday carry? Welcome to the Hideout. Today we're going to talk about, is there a single everyday carry better than any others? Maybe. Then there may be some that are worse than the others. But before we get started, please click like, click subscribe, and click the ringy dingy so you get your notification. Today we're going to talk about handguns in general, basically. Some people you see doing these videos, the top 5 everyday carry, the worst everyday carry, the best everyday carry. I think all that's nonsense and just bullshit so they can get a video out there for you to watch. I'm going to give you something to really think about. Here we go. Is there one gun better, pistol, handgun, better than any other to carry for everyday self-defense? Are there one or some that are even worse than others to carry? In my opinion, yes, but I'm not going to say a single gun. I'm going to say these guns versus these guns, and we're going to have a look at those. But before we can even do that, we have to go back and think about some very basic things. Do you shoot? Are you an experienced handgunner? Do you shoot regularly? Or do you just shoot once in a while? We all buy handguns and different guns thinking we're going to shoot them every day. And you're going to become the next John Wick or Clint Eastwood or whatever. And the truth of the matter is that's bullshit. They lay in the truck, they lay in the drawer, they lay in the safe, they draw dust. You may even carry it, but you never shoot it. That's not what you need. You need a gun that you're going to shoot. And if you're not going to shoot it, you know, just get a rock. But that's not what happens. What happens is we buy handguns we don't practice with. We don't practice because of time. We don't practice because we don't have the places to do it. We don't practice because it costs money. 45 costs more than 9mm. 9mm costs more than 22, so on and so forth. Bottom line is we don't shoot enough. So take that into consideration when you're going to shoot. You're going to carry a handgun for self-defense that, number one, you're probably never going to shoot. If you're lucky enough that you did carry it today, you still hadn't shot it in the last 18 months. So we're really not proficient, and that's probably not the handgun we want to carry. Maybe. So let's go down the line and let's look at some things. So we can buy expensive handguns, cheap handguns. We can buy semi-automatics, we can buy revolvers, single action, double action, whatever. Which one's best for you? The one's best for you is the one that you're going to use most proficiently. Whether it's this one or that one. If you shoot a Glock better than others, by all means buy you a disposable razor and go to town. But we're going to look at that. So, my opinion, you want to buy a handgun that is simple to use, extremely simple, so that you don't have to worry about it. You're not going to need to practice with it as much because you didn't practice with it as much, but you still want to be effective with a handgun. So what can we look at? We can look at like a revolver. Revolver's pretty simple. Double action. You don't have to worry about taking the safeties on and off. You know, it's not going to fail. It's going to go. I mean, the fact of the matter is this is a little Colt 38. Probably not what you're going to buy, number one, because it is expensive. You may buy it, but you're not going to shoot it that much. A Smith & Wesson. This is a nice little Smith & Wesson. This is a 38. Look here, no hammer. This will be a fine little carry gun. Why? Double action. You don't have to work a safety. There's no safety. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is pull the trigger, shoot. Now, all those are good, right? Looks like in the semi-automatics. This is a little Taurus. Which one is this? This is the GX4. Really small, really simple, same thing. Double action, single action, really easy to use, inexpensive, it'll work fine. Of the 3 we've shown you so far, I would suggest either of these 2. Either of these 2 would be good to carry. Now there's one thing that makes these good to carry other than being simple. They're easy to use, but they're going to be accurate enough. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So we have most handguns, almost the majority of handguns, the largest percentage of handguns have a pistol grip of, you guys are going to get where I'm going here, of an 18-degree pistol grip. So you got the pistol grip at 18 degrees to the bore axis. That is a naturally pointing handgun. So with one of these pistols with an 18-degree pistol grip, I don't even have to think. There's no safety on it. I'm freaking out. I hadn't practiced. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm in a high stressful position. I just pull the pistol and generally point it in that direction. I don't even have to put it up to my face. It's naturally, and I just pull it and I'm done. However, there is one manufacturer, now we're going to switch gears now. We went from what we recommend that you carry, easy, inexpensive, natural extension of the finger in the hand, pretty accurate, the need to practice, not as much, therefore cheaper in ammo and everything else, to some pistols that I probably don't recommend that you carry. We'll start with my favorite, the one I carry every day, the 1911. Now this is my old Union Switches Signal. For the majority of people, I recommend you do not carry a 1911, and this is for a couple reasons. Number one, they're kind of complicated. Why? They're extra safe. You got the safety on the pistol grip. You got the safety here. You've got to practice with this handgun to become proficient with it, so it becomes a natural part of shooting a pistol. You draw the pistol, you take the safety off, and you pull the trigger. You have things in your mind that you have to do. So the majority of people that actually shoot, even though this thing is near and dear to my heart, I don't recommend this for most people. Why? Because they can't become proficient with it. It's that simple. It's got the perfect angle. John Moses Browning has been unchanged since 1911. It is ergonomically perfect. It's a natural extension, but what happens? You have to shoot it. You have to train with it. You have to use it. If you don't, you might as well turn it around and be somebody with it, because you are not going to be accurate. Now, the flip side of that is, Leroy down here, Leroy is going to try to take it away from you, and he's used to stealing Glocks. Guess what? He's not going to be able to use it either. So you do have a chance to fight with him. But I would not recommend a 1911 for most people that want to carry every day. It's just simply because you have to train with it, you have to practice with it, you have to find the time, and you have to shoot the ammo to do it. These things, they're inexpensive. You can buy these things used for a couple $100. Easy to use, no problem. Now, let's get down to the mix between. We're going to go from somewhat complicated that needs a lot of training, and then we have something that's very simple that needs no training, and that leads us to the what? The world famous Glock. What about the Glock? Why do so many criminals use Glocks? Number one, they're stupid. Oh, they're stupid, they're plentiful, they're cheap, they steal one, they buy one, they steal another one, they trade them in a drug deal. Here's the problem with a Glock. Everybody's gonna tell me a Glock is all this. Okay, the Glock has got a 22% grip angle on it. At 22% grip angle, I'm gonna grab the Glock just like I did the cheaper Taurus, and I'm gonna grab it with no brain, and I'm gonna pull the trigger, and it's gonna go bang. It will fire, but the chances of you hitting something are now diminished. Number one, you haven't been training with it, you're not using it, you haven't practiced, you're not proficient, and now I don't have that natural point and shoot possibility of actually hitting my target. Do I have to hit the target? You're better to hit them and kill them than you are to miss them and wound them or something, then you're gonna be sued. But why do the police departments use Glock? Because they're, sorry officers, they're idiot proof, they're simple. So for some people, a Glock is the perfect solution. You don't, I mean, officers go out and qualify with their weapons maybe once a year. Once a year. Even you guys and gals who don't shoot that often probably shoot more than once a year. But we use the Glocks because they're simple, idiot-proof handguns that decreases the liability to the local police departments and local cities. That's why I say a handgun similar to the Glock that doesn't have this angle like the cheap Taurus is a better selection. This is a poor selection. This is a better selection. That's right, this is a poor selection. This is a better selection simply because the lack of training we do and we're not proficient with the handgun. I don't shoot as much as I used to. I would like to shoot more. Right now, I've just been busy building the new crib and stuff. We're starting to catch up. But this Glock is probably the last thing I would carry. And the reason being, I shoot the 1911s my entire life. I am proficient with a 1911. However, there are times when I will shove this thing in my pocket just because it's simple, it's small, it's inexpensive, and it's going to shoot straight. And that's it. So when it comes down to, is one gun better than the other? Not necessarily. There are some that are worse than any other, the Glock and the 1911, just simply because it's complicated, you must be proficient, and it's awkward, slick handled, it doesn't shoot straight. What I mean by it doesn't shoot straight, it doesn't go where you point. So, are there some better than others? There's a group better than others. Is there some worse than others? There's a group worse than others. Inside of those groups, you pick which handgun is you can afford the most, that's the most comfortable, you can become the most proficient with, and that you will practice and use. Other than that, it's your choice. There's not one better than the other. There's groups that I believe personally are better than the others. Until we get to shoot again, shoot safe and shoot straight. Huh.